everyone. Assalamualaikum. Welcome back to another vlog. It is your girl Nadirah P, back at you again, trying to be consistent, trying to stick to my promises and give you guys something at least every Thursday. By every Thursday is the goal. Thank you all for tuning in again. My first video received major love, so shout out to y'all for that. I think I'm at over 800 subscribers, 3,200 views on the first video, so thank you guys, and I'm so glad you're enjoying it. The comments, I read all of them. So beautiful, so kind, so sweet. The feedback on social media has been amazing. So like I promised, this week vlog is going to be a look in the day of a stand-up comedian. I had a show sometime last week. I was at Hunter College. So I got Miriam, aka Chicken Nugget, to follow me around so y'all could see how I prepare, how things go, how's it traveling, all of that. Before that, we are going to sit down. I'm going to tell you guys, because there was a lot of questions about how I got started and how I ended up here and why I want to be a comedian and how I be a stand-up comedian, blah, 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 blah. So we're about to talk about that. But before that, I have to introduce you guys to my children, because I became a mother yesterday and y'all deserve to know that. So let's go see my kids. So let me introduce you guys to my new babies. This is Keisha, this is Keyshawn. So Keisha is a pineapple Drakina, something like that. She's great for purifying the air, gets rid of like carbon monoxide, benzene, polytamine, blah, 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 all that other stuff. Great. She's a great houseplant, not much to care for, doesn't need a lot of light. Keyshawn is a peace lily, great for caring for mildew and taking care of humidity, also purifies the air. And they're just the cutest things, and I'm so happy to have some life in my room. Let me start out by saying that for a long time, I never even, when I say a long time, I mean the whole time up until recently, I never referred to myself as a comedian, as a stand-up comedian, none of that. Mainly for the reason of, you know, imposter syndrome, not really being sure, not wanting to refer to myself as a comedian. Then an actual comedian comes along and she's like, oh, she's not funny, you know, and then I'm all fragile and now I'm broken to bits and I don't want to do it anymore. But now I'm like, yeah, I'm a stand-up comedian. Like, I feel like you don't have to be top-notch, #1, the biggest professional in the world. You don't have to be Kevin Hart or Tiffany Haddish or anybody. You know, if you're in it, you're in it. And I'm in it. And I'm like low-key giving myself a pep talk. So how did it start? So I think around middle school, I went to for seventh grade, I went to a much bigger school, and I was in contact with a lot more people than just, you know, the few kids that I grew up with in my community. And I would say things and they would like die with laughter. And it was like the students, the teachers, and everyone would be like, oh my God, like, she's so funny. Oh my God, she's so funny. And I was like, wait, am I funny? Like, am I funny? So then after that, I'm like, okay, I think I might have something here. Let my family tell it. They say since I was a child, I've been funny, but I don't remember that stuff. I was just probably being sarcastic or borderline disrespectful, and it was funny. But in middle school, I noticed that I was funny. And then as I got older and I started to be a lot more social and go to events and different things, I became known as the person, when I show up, the party's here. I always consider myself to be socially funny. So it's like, when I'm at an event, like I said, when I'm at an event, when I'm going somewhere, I'm coming with the jokes, I'm coming with the punchlines, I'm coming with the segues, I'm coming with, you know, hiking or making fun of people and doing all this, all that. So I kind of always had that inkling about myself. Like I knew that I was a socially funny person. But then once I got started on social media and I started making funny videos and people were like really laughing, I was like, okay, now I'm like funny. Like now it's like a different, I don't even know what to call it, but now it's like I'm a different type of funny. Like I can be funny with prepared material. Like I can prepare material that is funny. So once I got into social media, I don't even know if it had been a year yet. This might have been like 2-3 years ago, but I don't know if I had been and popped on social media for at least a year yet. But this sister in Atlanta actually reached out to me and she was like, hey, do you do comedy? And at this point, I had never done stand-up comedy, never even thought about it, never even considered it. People were saying it to me, but it was something where I was like, oh yeah, whatever. But she reached out and she was like, do you do comedy? And I was like, no, but I think I can. And she was telling me about her event they're having in Atlanta. And she was like, we'll fly you out. And I was like, you're gonna pay for my flight and then you're gonna pay me when I get there? And she's like, yeah. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. I prepared some material like the day before. I was procrastinating. I ended up preparing material, I think, while I was at the airport, while I was on the plane, while I was on the flight. She wanted me to do a 15 to 20 minute set. This is my first time ever doing stand-up comedy ever in my life. So I prepared a 15-20 minute set, and I went to Atlanta. They flew me out and I did the set and it was amazing. Like, I had an amazing response. I have very bad anxiety. Like, I was so nervous. I was up there farting. I had to poop. Like, my body was going through. Like, I was sweating. I was nervous. My legs were shaking. I had to take my heels off because I was about to fall because my legs were shaking so bad. And I did the set. I think I did like 17 minutes and they loved it. They loved it. And I was just like, wow. And it wasn't just a thing of like they loved it because, oh, it's me. Like, they were legit laughing. And I was so shocked. Like, I was so surprised. I could not believe it. So then after I posted about that and I told people, you know, I did comedy there, other people were hitting me up like, bro, I didn't know you did comedy. Like, come here. And then after that, alhamdulillah, we're here. And also, let me just say this, because which I think is another thing which is amazing. I've never done comedy. I've never written comedy. I had ideas for videos, but I had not written or performed as a stand-up comedian. So for me to be able to write punchlines, to write segues and pauses and everything, for it to perfectly coordinate into a 17-minute set for my first time, I'm proud of me, sweetie. I am proud of me. I'm still so surprised. Alhamdulillah, that has managed to spiral into this now. Again, this was something that I never planned. This was something that I never even thought in my wildest imagination that I would be a stand-up comedian, that I would enjoy being a stand-up comedian, that I would want to be a stand-up comedian. I have yet to be international, but inshallah, we're manifesting that. But I have been to various states. I've been to Minnesota, I've been to Chicago, I've been to Atlanta, I'm constantly in New York, constantly in Philly. In Jersey don't be really want to catch that check, so alhamdulillah, like, so many things have come from it and so many things that I never could have imagined. The cons of it, really the only cons of it, is that I get so nervous. Like, I get so nervous. Like, I have bad anxiety. I'm so nervous. That moment right before I get called on stage, and I always tell people I need to know exactly when I'm going on stage because that's the only way I can control my jitters. And it is like the worst feeling. Like, when I tell you every single show that I have, I'm like, this is the last show because I can't take this. And then the show goes well and then I end up doing a whole nother set of shows. So that's really like the only con, as well as airports, packing, just all of that gives me anxiety. And it is kind of lonely. It's kind of lonely. Also, the part that people don't see is that when you are a performer and you're booked for somewhere, you can have times, I've had times where I'm cramping bad, where I'm not feeling good. I've had the flu. I have naturally enlarged tonsils, so any type of sickness, my tonsils will swell up. And it's almost like I cannot swallow my own spit because it's so painful. I've had that happen. I've been, you know, just distraught about something. I've been depressed. I've been anxious. But when flyers are printed, checks are being written, you know, promos already been made about it, I already told everybody I was going to be here, flights are already booked, you can't just not show up. So having to still push myself and still do that when some days where it's like, bro, like, I've been in hotel rooms ready to cry because I'm like, I don't want to do this. And people think it's just because of who I am. Well, alhamdulillah, I'm not just going for a show. It would be a different thing if I'm going to do 15, 20, 25 minutes and I'm out. Before the show, I'm talking to people, I'm answering questions, I'm taking pictures. After the show, I'm talking to people, I'm answering questions, I'm taking pictures. I'm talking to so many people. So imagine being in a mood where you're just like, bro, today I cannot. Like, I can't, I don't want to. And you have to do it anyway. So that's the very difficult part of performing. So then, when I'm just not in the mood and that takes all of my social energy, when I come back home to my loved one, when I come back home to my family and friends, I'm drained. I'm drained, like, and it's something that I especially had to explain to my mother, because she does like to talk. She wants to know, how was the show? What happened? Tell me about this, tell me about that. And I would get very irritable, and I had to tell her, it's not a thing of I don't want to talk to you, or a thing of I'm just trying to be a butthead. It's a thing of I'm drained, sis. Like, I'm drained. This is a lot. This takes a lot. I'm drained. So that's the only cons about it. But when I'm feeling good, when I'm in a good mood, meeting people, taking pictures, talking to people, I enjoy it. I really do. Even performing, even though it comes with that heart-wrenching feeling, it's great. Like, it's something that I legitimately enjoy. And I remember when I was like in the beginning stages of it, when people were calling me and flying me out for other states and wanting me to do my time, I reached out to definitely one of my inspirations and one of my mentors, Moses the Comic, who's great. He's been in the game for so many years. He's not only a pioneer in quote-unquote Muslim comedy, but in the comedic scene, period. He is one of the pioneers. So I hit up Moses. I'm like, yo, like, you know, this feeling, I can't get past this anxiety. What do you do to manage it? And this was like so crazy for me. But he messaged me back and he was like, the day that you're about to go on stage and you don't have that feeling, you quit. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. So that was definitely a telling moment. And the mentors that have been so close to me, have kept me so close to them, that have watched my set and commented on it, that have gotten back to me, that have had discussions about money with me, who, wallahi, I'm so thankful for them. Moses the Comic, Omar Reagan, and Preacher Moss. I think Preacher Moss, I met him first, then I met Moses the Comic, then I met Omar Reagan. They have been beyond helpful. They have been beyond helpful. Beyond helpful. It's things that they did not have to do for me that they continue to do for me. And I know that any question that I have, any concern that I have, I'm hitting them up, and they're getting right back to me. They're being my anchors, they're being my leaders, they're doing everything that they, that they can do for me, and I appreciate that so much. So people naturally always ask me, who am I comedically inspired by? First and foremost, Black women. At the age where I would get certain jokes but I couldn't laugh because I didn't want my mom to know that I got it. Monique, some more have been like this. How I've been watching Monique for years. I do like Wanda Sykes. Other people, Dion Cole, Dave Chappelle, Richard Pryor. I already mentioned my 3 mentors who are hilarious. When it comes to Black Muslim women comics, the only one that I know who is absolutely hilarious, and I was introduced to her a few years ago, not in person, but I got to see her on Comedy Central, which I feel like, why do people not know who she is? Zainab Johnson. Zainab Johnson is a beast. She is hilarious. She is hilarious. Point blank, period. So if you don't know about her, you should definitely look into her. You should definitely watch her stuff. You should definitely go see her show. But I've also been very inspired by the people who are not formally comedians, but the people in my life who are funny, starting with my maternal and paternal grandmothers, who are absolutely hilarious. They say the wildest things, they say the craziest things, they're so funny. And I think even my younger cousins, when they don't even know they're being funny, are hilarious. As far as like my own, I feel like every comedian has their own comedic voice, or something that they're known for, their staple. I have one, but I do kind of feel like I'm looking for one. So it's like I'm trying to find my own comedic voice, my own thing, my own unique piece of myself. But that's just some background of how I got into comedy. As far as where I see myself going, there are no limits. There are no limits. I don't necessarily say I want to be a rock star, but I want to be amazing at anything that I do. So because I have chosen comedy, or in a way, comedy was chosen for me and then I chose it back, I want to be an amazing comedian. My goal really is to be able to go in any crowd of people, perform for anybody, and it's a hit. period. That's the goal. So before we get too mixed up in this, here's the vlog, the day in the life of a stand-up comedian. Tonight I'm performing at Hunter, I think that's Hunter College Muslim Student Association's charity night. I'll be performing, I think around 7 o'clock. I think right now it's 5 o'clock. I'm currently waiting on them to send me a car so I can get going. I'm about to reach out to the sister now to see what time the car will be coming. Hi. I'm trying to practice for my show because that's what needs to be done. And Mary was watching Twitter videos out loud. No respect for the artiste at work. No words, just as I thought. Girls. The city is filled with rats, all types of rats. Brooklyn rats, Manhattan rats, Bronx rats, all types of rats. I feel like maybe it's just me, because you see I have the rolling eye thing. You guys went to the zoo as children? Yes, no? Yes. You went to the zoo? Right? Assuming you went there with your Muslim family, did anybody else's family salam the animals? No? Listen, if your family wasn't slamming the animals, you need to question them. Never. Bro, we used to walk around the entire zoo like this was an Islam convention. Every child, like, this is ridiculous. This is absolutely ridiculous. But a couple of the animals low-key responded. Namely, the llama. I would go over like, Tom, what's going on? Anybody have cats? Pets? Yeah. Oh, she raised her hand too high. So she raised her cats, huh? Does anybody have cats? 3 of them. Anybody have a dog? You have a dog? You raise your hand low because you know how we feel about dogs. So I feel I'm like, anybody have a dog? She's like, don't tell anybody. What's your cat's name? All 6 of them, Jeremy.
It's only one cat.
So she says, right.
Liza?
What?
Liza?
Liza? Yo, Muslims said naming animals too serious. Too serious. You walk into somebody's house, naturally you slam the cat. You're like, how you know? The cat's like, oh man, that's such a beautiful cat. What's his name? Maria. Ibn Allah. What's your son's name? John. That's it. John.
Bera.
I'm ready. Yeah. This is part of the stand-up comedy thing. Before you perform, after you perform, waiting. We're just waiting. Just waiting. Took that picture on Android. God knows how messed up.
So Nadirah is talking to her fans, and I am sitting here pretending to be a fashionable person when really
Very young, when the time comes, will you run? Muslim spoken word poet. Get that for me. Goodbye. Thank you guys so much for watching the vlog. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope this gave you an insight into my life as a stand-up comedian. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Feel free to hit me up on social media and let me know what you would like to see. Just follow me on social media to keep up with me, keep up with if I'm going to be in your town performing. I love to see you guys at the shows. Hopefully next time when I'm actually traveling, because this is sort of a local show, so when I'm actually traveling, when I'm catching a flight, I would be able to take you guys with me so you can see how it really is and you can see the transitions. Also, comment down below anything that you would like to see. Give this video a thumbs up. If you want to receive notifications about when I post, again, I'll try to post every Thursday. Thank you guys so much. May Allah keep you safe, happy, and healthy. Bye-bye. Assalamualaikum.
This has really been great for me. I'm going to be a little sad when you leave, but I'll make it through.